Hi. Come. We'll go home and have some tea and forget all about it.
Yes, let's forget all about it.
Here, let me have Jasper.
Come in.
Oh, please don't get up, Mr. Crawley. I was just wondering if you meant what you said the other day about showing me the run of things.
Of course I did.
What are you doing now?
Notifying all the tenants that in the celebration of Maxim's return with his bride, this week's rent will be free.
Oh, was that Maxim's idea?
Oh, yes. All the servants get an extra week's wages, too.
Oh, he didn't tell me. Can't I help you? I could at least lick the stamps.
Well, that's terribly nice of you. Won't you sit down?
Oh, yes, thank you. I was down at the cottage on the beach the other day. There was a man there, a queer sort of person. Jasper kept barking at him.
Oh, yeah. Must have been Ben. Excuse me. He's quite harmless. We give him odd jobs now and then.
That cottage place seemed to be going to rack and ruin. Why isn't something done about it?
Well, I think if Maxim wanted anything done about it, he'd tell me.
Are those all Rebecca's things down there?
Yes. Yes, they are.
What did she use the cottage for?
The boat used to be moored near there.
What boat? What happened to it? Was that the boat she was sailing in when she was drowned?
Yes. Capsized and sank. She was washed overboard.
Wasn't she afraid to go out like that alone?
She wasn't afraid of anything.
Where did they find her?
Near Edgecombe. About 40 miles up channel, about 2 months afterwards. Maxim went up to identify her. It was horrible for him.
Yes, it must have been. Mr. Crawley, please don't think me morbidly curious. It isn't that. It's just that I feel at such a disadvantage. All the time, whenever I meet anyone, Maxim's sister or even the servants, I know they're all thinking the same thing. They're all comparing me with her, with Rebecca.
Oh, you mustn't think that. I can't tell you how glad I am that you married Maxim. It's going to make all the difference to his life. And from my point of view, it's very refreshing to find someone like yourself who's not entirely in tune, shall we say, with Manderley.
That's very sweet of you. I dare say I've been stupid, but every day I realize the things that she had and that I lacked. Beauty and wit and intelligence and all the things that are so important in a woman.
You have qualities that are just as important. More important, if I may say so. Kindness and sincerity and, if you'll forgive me, modesty mean more to a husband than all the wit and beauty in the world. We none of us want to live in the past. Maxim least of all. It's up to you, you know, to lead us away from it.
I promise you I won't bring this up again, but before we end this conversation, would you answer just one more question?
If it's something I'm able to answer, I'll do my best.
Tell me, what was Rebecca really like?
I suppose she was the most beautiful creature I ever saw.
Films of the honeymoon have arrived at last. We timed, you think, before dinner? What on earth have you done to yourself?
Oh, nothing. I just ordered a new dress from London. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no. Well, do you think that sort of thing's right for you? Doesn't seem your type at all.
I thought you'd like it.
And what have you put under your hair? Oh, I see. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. I'm sorry. You look lovely, lovely. It's very nice for a change. Shall we see these pictures?
Yes, I'd love to see them.
Ah, look now. Oh, look at that.
Wasn't it wonderful, darling? Can't we go back there someday?
Yes, of course, of course. Ah, look at you. Won't our grandchildren be delighted when they see how lovely you were?
Oh, look at you.
Yes. Oh, I see.
Oh, I like that. Look at that.
That's very nice.
Oh, remember that?
Yes.
Oh, I wish our honeymoon could have lasted forever, Maxim.
Oh, dash it, look. Oh, hang it. Threaded it up wrong as usual or something. Yes, Frith, what is it?
Excuse me, sir. May I have a word with you?
Yes. Come in.
It's about Robert, sir. There's been a slight unpleasantness between him and Mrs. Danvers.
Oh, dear.
Robert is very upset.
Oh, this is trouble. What is it?
It appears that Mrs. Danvers has accused Robert of stealing a valuable ornament from the morning room. Robert denies the accusation most emphatically, sir.
What was the thing, anyway?
China Cupid, sir.
Oh, dear, that's one of our treasures, isn't it? Well, tell Mrs. Danvers to get to the bottom of it somehow and tell her I'm sure it wasn't Robert.
Very good, sir.
Oh, why do they come to me with these things? That's your job, sweetheart.
Maxim, I wanted to tell you, but, well, I forgot. The fact is, I broke the China Cupid.
You broke it? Now, why on earth didn't you say something about it when Frith was here?
I don't know. I didn't like to. I was afraid he'd think me a fool.
Well, he'd think you much more of a fool now. You'll have to explain to him and Mrs. Danvers.
Oh, no, Maxim, you do it. I'll go upstairs.
Don't be such a little idiot, darling. Anybody would think you were afraid of them. It's all a mistake, Mrs. Danvers. Apparently, Mrs. De Winter broke the cupid herself and forgot to say anything about it.
I'm so sorry. I never thought that I'd get Robert into trouble.
Is it possible to repair the ornament, madam?
No, I'm afraid it isn't. It was smashed into pieces.
What did you do with the pieces?
Well, I put them at the back of one of the drawers in the writing desk.
Well, it looks as though Mrs. De Winter were afraid you were going to put her in prison, doesn't it, Mrs. Danvers? Well, never mind. Do what you can to find the pieces, see if they can be mended, and above all, tell Robert to dry his tears.
I shall apologize to Robert, of course. Perhaps if such a thing happens again, Mrs. De Winter will tell me personally.
Yes, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Danvers. Well, I suppose that clip will hold all right. I don't know.
I'm awfully sorry, darling. It was very careless of me. Mrs. Danvers must be furious with me.
Oh, hang Mrs. Danvers. Why on earth should you be frightened of her? You behave more like a upstairs maid or something, not like the mistress of the house at all.
Yes, I know I do. But I feel so uncomfortable. I try my best every day, but it's very difficult with people looking me up and down as if I were a prize cow.
Well, what does it matter if they do? You must remember that life at Mandel is the only thing that interests anybody down here.
What a slap in the eye I must have been to them then. I suppose that's why you married me. Because you knew I was dull and gauche and inexperienced, and there could never be any gossip about me.
Gossip? What do you mean?
I don't know. I just said it for something to say. Don't look at me like that. Maxim, what's the matter? What have I said?
Wasn't a very attractive thing to say, was it?
No. It was rude, hateful.
I wonder if I did a very selfish thing in marrying you.
How do you mean?
I'm not much of a companion to you, am I? You don't get much fun, do you? You ought to have married a boy. Someone of your own age.
Maxim, why do you say this? Of course we're companions.
Are we? I don't know. I'm very difficult to live with.
No, you're not difficult. You're easy, very easy. Our marriage is a success, isn't it? A great success. We're happy, aren't we? Terribly happy.